Office at 99 East Main Street in downtown Uniontown. Attorney Delarose specializes in family law, municipal law, and general civil litigation, as well as personal injury, estate planning, probate, and more. For more information, call Attorney Melinda Delarose at 724-437-3200, 724-437-3200, or online at delaroselaw.com.
Going on now at C. Harper Chevy. Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Silverado for only $319 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles per year with 4,500 cash rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Payment is for tax, federal fees, and prepayment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends February 28, 2022. While supplies last. Residency restrictions apply. Call dealer for all other details at 724-99-8000.
I'm Russ Blejo. As your local Allstate agent, providing protection that fits your life is something I take, well, personally. I'm committed to learning about your needs and personalizing protection to meet them. From bundling your auto, home, and life insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage based on your protection needs. I can build an insurance proposal that fits your life. Are you in good hands? Contact me, Russ Blejo, for a free quote.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
Brian Rozak and Steve Suberg back here at Uniontown High School, just about set to go. The Uniontown Red Raiders taking on the Albert Gallatin Colonials. The Colonials decked out in their way black, silver numbers, white trim. Their bench across the court to our left. Uniontown in the home whites, maroon numbers. Their bench across the court to our right. Referees here tonight or this afternoon: Tony Carter, Brad Yeoman, and Elliot Adamovich. And Steve, a final opportunity for both Uniontown and Albert Gallatin to impress the playoff committee.
Yep, sure is, and should be a good game, crosstown rival game, if you will, and should be a lot of fun.
Nick Pegg in the center circle for Albert Gallatin. Tanner Uphold jumping for Uniontown. And we'll get this Fayette County rivalry game underway. Uniontown and Albert Gallatin. Brad Yeoman to toss it up in the opening tap control to Uniontown, and Notorious Grooms up top. Off on the right to Calvin, back to Notorious. They'll float it back in Calvin's direction. Comes far baseline. Floater on the way too strong. And on the near side, the rebound pulled down there by Matsis Chapman for Albert Gallatin. Off to Braxton, who we did not see, Steve, a week ago Friday against Laurel Highlands. Braxton was out with a back injury. Also missed the North Allegheny game, but he's back here tonight.
Yep, interesting to see how he's able to handle himself.
Off balance shot missed there from Matsis Chapman. Battle for the loose ball rebound, and Caleb able to track it back down. Reset up top. Blake White long. Two on the way, no good. And Uphold the rebound there for Uniontown. Sent it off to Winfrey, bounces it forward to Notorious Grooms. Floated back in Calvin's direction up top. Backs off a defender. Bounces it over to Grooms. Back to Calvin. Far side now Tanner Uphold. Uphold resets high on the right. Bounces on the far elbow to Bakari, who comes inside. Posts up. Pulls it back here again to Winfrey. Near side Grooms. Three on the way. A little bit short there from Notorious. And the rebound was pulled down by Grayson Jarrett for Albert Gallatin.
A little sloppy to start. Both teams... They play it Saturday at noon, maybe not used to this time slot.
You never know. You might end up playing a playoff game Saturday at noon, so definitely have to be ready because you never know what might occur. And both of these teams also played last night. White driving in, rolled a clean block there from Uphold, deflected out of bounds. We'll stay with Albert Gallatin here in the Uniontown zone. We played almost a minute and 30 here, actually 1:26 into the game, and we're still scoreless. Colonials trigger it in. It's Matsis Chapman underneath. He'll hand it off into Braxton. Braxton left of the lane, guarded there by Bakari Wallace. Contact charge call there on Braxton. One of those bang-bang calls, Steve, that can go either way.
Yeah, he didn't like the call. I don't know if Bakari Wallace had real good position there, and I don't think Shea Fleener liked that call either. I know Braxton didn't like it.
So the Red Raiders get it back. Grooms sent it in to Winfrey. A little pressure there from Nick Pegg. Winfrey gets it back, drives, floats one up and in. Calvin Winfrey had 10 last night against Mount Pleasant. Came in averaging 10 points a game and has the first two of the afternoon here for Uniontown. Braxton in the backcourt. A little man pressure there from Wallace as Braxton brings it across. Braxton, three on the way, up top, too strong. High rebound brought down by Calvin Winfrey. Winfrey bringing it across on the far side for Uniontown. Winfrey racing back. Had deflected out of bounds. We'll stay with Uniontown here in the Albert Gallatin zone. And both of these teams will wrap up their regular seasons on Monday. Albert Gallatin will host Washington. Uniontown will travel to Laurel Highlands. We'll have that game for you here on WMBS. Here's Wallace back in the corner. Grooms back in Bakari's direction to his right now to Winfrey. Thought about the three. Sends in the corner to Uphold. Bounces it back on the wing to Calvin. And a little bounce pass off to his left to Grooms. Baseline Wallace back to Grooms. Three on the way. Good for Notorious Grooms. Boy, he's been solid from the outside all season and drains another three there. And the Red Raiders 5 unanswered to start.
And man-to-man, full court pressure.
Blake White back across here for Albert Gallatin, working on Uphold. White here on the near elbow. Sends it off to his left. A little touch there from Nick Pegg, who's pressured, almost lost the basketball, rolls it back. Up top to Blake White. White left of the lane, comes inside, drives and scores. Blake White, first two of the game for the Colonials, only a sophomore. Talented young player for Shea Fleener's squad. It's 5-2 Uniontown. Here's Winfrey again between defenders. Tough shot, couldn't get it to go. In traffic, Pegg the rebound there for Albert Gallatin. Pegg off to his left, a miscommunication with Braxton, threw it out of bounds. Red Raiders to get it back.
Yeah, got going down on a fast break, and he wanted to give the ball up to somebody, and as he started to throw it, he had no one to throw it to. He threw it right into the score table.
Goes back in here to Tanner Uphold, who drives right down the lane and gets it to go. Tanner Uphold. A 7-2 lead for Uniontown, 4:44 left here in the first. Matsis Chapman back across for Albert Gallatin. Screen set up there by Pegg. Now Pegg gets it. Holds on the elbow. Off to his left on a little switch there. Jarrett back up top. Matsis Chapman working here on Grooms. Try to shovel it back in White's direction. Off a little deflection. White resets here high on the right. Off to his left to Pegg. Pegg stays with it on the elbow. Fronted there by Perkins.
Going to
get Perkins for a little touch foul on the floor. Wasn't a lot of contact there. And Tony Carter will make the signal. First on Perkins. First team foul on the Red Raiders. He lead it 7-2 here at the 4:19 mark of the first. Bounce into Pegg. He comes free and lays it up and in. Nick Pegg, 6'3 senior, came in averaging 9 points and 8 rebounds a game as the Colonials back to within 3. Uphold through a double team. Off to Winfrey. Shovels back to Grooms. Works off to his right. Over to Uphold. Coming on the far wing. Back to Bakari Wallace. Comes far baseline. He's going to be ruled out of bounds on that drive. So the Colonials get it back down 3 midway through this opening quarter. Jameer Braxton will work it in here for Albert Gallatin. Into Blake White in front of the Albert Gallatin bench. Uphold picks him up defensively. White brings it back across. Sends it off to Grayson Jarrett. Little ball fake. Works inside to his left to Pegg. Jumper came up short. Long rebound. Pegg able to get his own board. Come back inside. A little scoop shot. No good. Pegg with it back again. Bounce pass out in front. Jarrett gets it to go. Grayson Jarrett has the Colonials back to within 1. It's 7-6. 3:33 left here in the first. Colonials have done a nice job, Steve, to settle down.
Yeah.
Here's Winfrey back over to Uphold. Uphold comes far baseline. Resets it back on the wing. Grooms 3 on the way. Rattles out. Hard luck shot there. Uphold offensive rebound trying to keep it alive. Did they rule him out of bounds, Steve? No, a foul.
A foul on Jarrett, I believe, 15. Yep.
His first, team second.
Hip check. Comes McLeod checking in.
Kadrian McLean, 6'3 sophomore forward, came in averaging 4 points and 2 rebounds a game. Your headphones all caught up underneath the table there, Steve.
Yeah.
Not ready for the noon start either.
Yeah, no.
Here's Grooms to work it in. Up top to Uphold. Resets between the circles. Off to his left to Calvin Winfrey. Watched there by White. Back to Uphold again. Bounce pass off to McLeod. Posting up. Trying to send it off to Winfrey. White deflected it. Winfrey stays with it. Dances between the circles. Off to his left to Grooms, who drives near wing and in. And a charge call there on Grooms.
Yep.
And an Albert Gallatin player down. UPMC Center's Rehab Services injury timeout. We'll step aside for a quick 30. That's Nick Pegg down. 3:02 left in the first. Red Raiders lead at 7-6. We're back in 30 here on WMBS.
For attorney Melinda Delarose, helping people with compassionate counseling, candid legal advice, strong advocacy, and professional commitment is what she does best. With an office at 99 East Main Street in downtown Uniontown, attorney Delarose specializes in family law, municipal law, and general civil litigation, as well as personal injury, estate planning, probate, and more. For more information, call attorney Melinda Delarose at 724-437-3200, 724-437-3200, or online at delaroselaw.com.
Nick Pegg helped to his feet, and that's not what head coach Shea Fleener wants to see here, Steve, a week before the WPIL playoffs get underway.
I don't think that's what any coach wants to see playing these last couple games before the playoffs start. You got to, you schedule the game, so I guess you got to play them, but you really don't want to get anybody hurt.
I mean, to some degree, you want to stay sharp out there and obviously test your team to make sure you're ready for the WPIL playoffs. But as you said, on the other hand, the last thing you want to do is get somebody hurt, as Pegg is getting his right knee looked at right now. And the Colonials have the basketball. Cameron Pratt checked into the game replacing Nick Pegg as Blake White brings it across. Fronted there by Uphold. White stays with on the near wing, switches back with Pratt. Up top now to Jameer Braxton. Braxton contact blocking foul called there on Bakari Wallace. Seen a lot of those bang-bang calls here, Steve, early on.
Yes, that one looked like a makeup almost. Bakari got the charge call last time down when Braxton fell into him, and I didn't think he had position, but that time he had position. He got knocked over.
Jarrett into Braxton. He got fouled out in front. He'll have 2 free throws upcoming. 2:44 left in the first. 7-6 lead for Uniontown over Albert Gallatin. And they got that foul on Kadrian McLee. His first team fourth. Braxton, 64% for the season from the foul line. 66 of 103. 6'2 sophomore. Cameron averaging 17 points and 7 rebounds a game. A little delay here, and I think one of the Red Raiders being granted a little extra time to get their shoelaces in. That's Bakari Wallace. First of 2 free throws good there from Braxton. His first point of the afternoon ties the game at 7. Now Braxton, a second of 2 on the way, and this one no good. Kadrian McLee, the rebound there for Uniontown, off to Uphold. Bounce forward there to Grooms. Back to Uphold again. Top of the key. 3 on the way. Too strong from Tanner. Rebound pulled down by Albert Gallatin's Grayson. Jarrett had it taken away by Uphold. He comes back inside. Leans in. And they're going to give him the basket and 1. Tanner Uphold. Red Raiders now lead at 9-7. 2:29 left in the first. And they'll have a free throw attempt from Uphold upcoming.
Cameron Pratt the foul. Good job by Uphold to get the steal. Ball was going the other way, and he kind of just came out of there with it and drove in the left side and got the block call on Pratt. And 1 3-point play the old-fashioned way.
Free throw good there from Tanner. Came in 68% this season from the free throw line for a Uniontown team that shoots just 56%. Albert Gallatin down 3 with the basketball. McAlee a block there on Jarrett. Deflects it into the Uniontown bench. Colonials now keep possession in the Uniontown zone with 2:20 left in the first as Evan Townsend checks into the game. Steve, we have to say hello to Alex listening in Virginia Beach tonight. So hello, Alex. Always have listeners from all over the country.
Yeah.
Here's Blake White working here between the circles, watched by Evan Townsend. Sent off to Grayson Jarrett, fronted there by Winfrey, and an offensive foul called there on Jarrett. Seen a lot of close ones here in the opening frame, Steve.
Yeah, that was an odd one. Didn't look like much going on there. Looked like Winfrey was just playing some good defense, got a little tight, and all of a sudden they must have called like a forearm clear out there on Jarrett.
Townsend looking for the 3. That's his spot on the wing. Missed that one off the front of the rim. Offensive rebound on the backside. Kept alive Grooms. Going to reload here with Winfrey. And now backs off, sends it off to his left to Wallace. Baseline Grooms back to Bakari. Give and go. They couldn't finish underneath. And Jarrett the rebound there for Albert Gallatin. Well drawn up. Just couldn't get the end result, Steve.
Yeah, right. Wallace just couldn't finish.
Braxton coming back. Pretty move in the finish that time for Jameer Braxton. His first field goal of the afternoon. He has 3, made a free throw earlier. Albert Gallatin back to within 1, down 10-9. Here's Winfrey up top. 3 a little short. Rebound deflects right off to Grooms. Floats one back up and in. Notorious Grooms has 5 opening quarter points. Uniontown back on top 12-9. 75 seconds left here in the opening frame. Braxton sends it near corner long, too short. There was Caden Donnelly. Uniontown with a rebound. Winfrey back across over to Grooms. Touches back to Winfrey. Leans inside and gets it to go. Calvin Winfrey, he has 4 first-quarter points. A little surge here from the Red Raiders. They lead by 5 at 14-9 with 53 seconds left here in the first.
Good job by Winfrey to avoid the contact.
Here's Jarrett up top. Pressured by Winfrey, who pokes the ball free. It's loose in front of us. Jarrett gets back on it and gets a travel called on him. Was trying to call timeouts. They call the travel there on Grayson Jarrett. It'll be Uniontown's basketball. Red Raiders lead by 5 at 14-9. 40 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Thought at first, Steve, they're going to grant the timeout.
Yeah. He just rolled around.
Townsend, quick three, near wing, good. Evan Townsend, he loves that spot. And drains one there to extend the Uniontown lead to 8 at 17-9. 25 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Back in the corner, AG trying to answer back. Matzes Chapman misses on a three. Townsend another rebound. Peg trying to get loose on the Albert Gallatin bench. Here's Tavian Richardson pulling it back to Makari Wallace. His three came up short, long rebound. Tracked back down there in traffic by McLeod. Touches it off on the drive to Wallace, who's there for the finish. Timeout Albert Gallatin, only 6 seconds left in the quarter. They're going to call it 30, so we'll take a 30 as well. 19-9 Red Raiders back in 30 here on the CR Product Group High School Sports Night.
Bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprowell's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sprowellsinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Back here at Uniontown High School, 6 seconds left in the opening quarter. Are you surprised to see Albert Gallatin, Steve, spend a timeout with 6 seconds left in the quarter?
Well, I think it was sometimes a timeout like that just to get your team's attention. You know, they all realize, hey, the quarter's going to end anyway, but I think he just was wanted to get a few points across.
There's Pratt looking for the last shot, coming up short for just inside of midcourt. So we've played a quarter of basketball. It's 19-9. Uniontown of Albert Gallatin are back with the 2nd and 60 here in the CR Product Group High School Sports Night.
Casey Sports Cafe, owned by the Vernon family, is located on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown. Casey's has reopened for dine-in services with new hours, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday and Sunday 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Meals are home-cooked and range from a variety of steaks, chicken and veal parmesan, liver and onions, along with appetizers, salads, wings, and sandwiches. Casey's offers free delivery in the Uniontown area with purchases of $10 or more. Phone 724-550-4126 for Casey Sports Cafe.
Uniontown Detailing offers an all-inclusive auto care experience. Services include full auto detailing, professional ceramic coatings, window tinting, undercoating, paintless dent repair, and more. They are conveniently located at 1310 Pittsburgh Road in Uniontown. But look for Uniontown Detailing in February at a new location on 255 South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown. Best of luck this season to all local teams from Uniontown Detailing.
Matzes Chapman sends it in for Albert Gallatin as the second quarter gets underway. Off to Blake White. Colonial's working left to right as we describe it. White coming baseline. Hands off down low there to Donnelly, who just threw it right back to the Red Raiders' Notorious Grooms, who drives back, throws it over the shoulder, up and in. Notorious Grooms. Good transition play there, Steve, for the Red Raiders, who now lead at 21-9. Braxton coming back. Floater too strong and uphold the rebound. And still no Nick Pegg out on the court for Albert Gallatin as the Red Raiders called for a travel. Until now, Pegg's going to check in and replace Caden Donnelly. And Albert Gallatin just has not been the same, Steve, since Pegg exited the game with that injury. I have to also say hello, Steve, to Linda Fulham, watching our broadcast in Melbourne, Florida this afternoon. Sure, it's nice weather down there, so hello, Linda. Thank you for tuning in. Here's Cameron Pratt back across for Albert Gallatin, over to Braxton, working right in the lane. Resets outside the arc on the near side now to Matzes Chapman. Off to his left. Good screen set up by Pegg. Matzes Chapman loses the dribble, pulls it back to White high on the left. Little ball fake, stays with it. Back to Pratt now between the circles. Pratt now pivots out to his right to Jameer Braxton. AG trying to get in a little flow here. Steve down 12. Braxton off to White. Little poke there from Tavian Richardson, but they'll keep it alive. Matzis Chapman misses on the three. Braxton looking for the offensive rebound. Big battle there with both Perkins and Wallace. They get the jump ball called. Red Raiders get it here out the possession arrow.
Well, good job by Perkins to kind of tie him up, and then Wallace gets his hands in there, and that's what he does. He's so good at it. Quick, athletic, gets his hands in there, gets the tie up. Red Raiders get it on the possession arrow.
And Grooms driving inside. Foul called on Albert Gallatin's Blake White. Shea didn't like that call. Ruled in the axe. You'll have 2 free throws now for Grooms. Torres is first of 2 on the way and good. Torrey had 20 last night against Mount Pleasant. Coach Kaczmarski said, Steve, it was senior night last night when all the players picked their own shoes. They didn't have to wear the team shoes, and he had maroon-colored tennis shoes on anyways. He makes both free throws here. Our actual team shoes, though, are more white and black.
Yeah.
A 23-9 lead for the Red Raiders over the Colonials. Matzis Chapman here high on the right. Peg sets the screen. AG just no flow offensively over the last couple of minutes. Pratt drives the baseline on the far side, and he gets fouled. So he'll have 2 free throws here for Albert Gallatin, with the Colonials down 23-9. Nice little run here for Uniontown to build up a 14-point lead. That foul went on Tanner Uphold, his first. Team 5th. And Cameron Pratt's 43% this season from the free throw line, makes his first of 2 here, and that's the first point for Albert Gallatin here in the second quarter. Now Pratt for a second of 2. Up on the way and good for Cameron Pratt. Colonials back to within 12, down 23-11. Richardson bounces it forward. Bakari Wallace. Wallace right down the lane. Gets it to go. Bakari Wallace. Wallace with 4. Lead back up to 14. Outlet pass for the Colonials down to Peg. Pulls it back. Touch from Matzis Chapman. Over to Jameer Braxton, who's pressured and fouled. That'll be team foul number 6 for Uniontown on the floor. So AG will shoot the 1-and-1 off the next foul, but it's the second on Notorious Grooms. He'll check out. And Blake White will trigger it back in here for Albert Gallatin.
No field goals in the second quarter for the Colonials.
Pulled back on the drive. Tough shot. White couldn't check that. Peg couldn't get it to go. Ball goes out of bounds here on the near side off of Albert Gallatin and out. And Uniontown will keep possession, or actually get possession back. Oh, to Mark O'Keefe as well, watching from Harrisburg. Former editor of the Herald Standard. And there's White with a steal. White driving back, and White getting fouled by Tavian Richardson.
A little sloppy with the ball there for the Red Raiders. They just White snuck in there and stole it away, and foul goes on Richardson.
His first, team 7th. Ruled in the axe to 2 free throws here for White. First of 2, no good. Been a long time, Steve, since AG's had a field goal in this game.
Yeah. Braxton, I think, was the last one. That was
midway through the first.
Yeah.
6 or 7 minutes ago. Now White for a second free throw. Taking his time. It's on the way and rattles out, but an offensive rebound pulled down there by Peg. He leans back inside, another miss. Ball loose on the far side, deflected out of bounds. Uniontown's basketball off of Peg and out. And tough luck continues for the Colonials. They trail by 14. Remember the first time these two teams met down at York Run, Steve, Albert Gallatin defeated Uniontown in overtime. Here's Wallace back to Winfrey. Spots up for the 3, and it rattles out. Underneath, Braxton the rebound there for Albert Gallatin. Jameer back across over to White. White leans in, had it knocked away. Bakari Wallace on it, 1-on-4, not going to slow down Wallace. He comes inside, couldn't get the shot to go. Now Braxton the rebound here for Albert Gallatin with Wallace down behind the play. He's holding his back. See some injuries here on both sides. Matzes Chapman for three, no good. Pegg offensive rebound. Scores on the putback. Nick Pegg ending the long field goal drought for Albert Gallatin. It's 25-13. Here's Winfrey. Floater no good. Underneath. Perkins called for the foul, his second. I don't believe, that was a player control foul, so it should be a 1-and-1 back on the other side with 5:01 left before halftime, and Uniontown leading 25-13. Macari, Steve, still holding his back. Might have fell right on his tailbone. Now he's going to check out. So you had on the Albert Gallatin side, Braxton fighting that back injury last week. Pegg went down with a knee injury, but came back in as Braxton misses the front end of a 1-and-1 here. And now you get Wallace exiting with a back injury as well for Uniontown. Grooms, quick three, no good. Underneath, Matzes Chapman, the rebound for Albert Gallatin. Off to White, to his left to Braxton. Will hop step, but Braxton couldn't finish. Uphold the rebound there for Uniontown. Uphold coming back. Kick out three. Grooms, good. Notorious Grooms, 7 here in the second, 12 for the game. Red Raiders have built up a 15-point lead at 28-13. 4:32 left before halftime. White coming back, fronted there by Townsend. Off to his right to Matzes Chapman. Bounces it into Pegg, posting up there on McLee. Sent it off to his left, a little fumble, but a regain from Cameron Pratt. Cameron to Matzes Chapman, driving far wing and in a miss there. Kadrian McLee the rebound. Matzes Chapman asking where was the foul. Thought there was a lot of contact, nothing called. Red Raiders keep it alive. Winfrey out to Townsend, long three off the front of the rim, no good. Battle for the rebound, Braxton finds it, kept the dribble alive while sliding back. And then the ball deflects out of bounds, will be ruled.
Well, that's okay, he could fall down.
Yes, he kept the dribble going. It's Albert Gallatin's basketball. So credit Braxton there, keeping possession for his team, and trail by 15. Now Braxton will check out. Grayson Jarrett will take the ball in here for Albert Gallatin. I'll send it off to White. Red Raiders showing more of a man press, backing off this time. Townsend on White as White enters the forecourt. Pegg sets up the screen. White backs off. Now he's going to go right down the lane. Drives, got blocked by Townsend. Was deflected off to McLee. Lost the handle over to Pegg. And now another whistle here left of the lane. What do we got?
Might be on McLee again? Who do they call that?
McLee, his second, ninth team foul. Another 1-and-1 here for the Colonials.
Fouls are piling up on the Red Raiders.
13 total on the board, 9 against Uniontown. Pegg front end of the 1-and-1. Good. That's one thing that can get Albert Gallatin back into this game, Steve. If you get a couple of fouls here on the Red Raiders, already have Perkins with 2, Grooms with 2, and McLee with 2. Wallace, Richardson, and Uphold have 1 apiece.
Grooms has 2 also.
I said that.
Oh, did you?
Second free throw, good again. And driving back, Townsend a miss. McLee trying to keep it alive. Ball still loose in traffic. Townsend another miss. And Albert Gallatin out of the pack with it. That's Cameron Pratt. Back to White. White up top. Long 2. Good for Blake White. So White now with 4. Colonials back to within 11 at 28-17. Grooms back across. Out to his right, Wallace. Little juggle trying to regain. Couldn't get it to go. Long rebound deflected out. Control there by Cameron Pratt for Albert Gallatin. Pratt working right in the lane on the block. Got blocked. Deflected out of bounds. Stays with Albert Gallatin here in the Uniontown zone. Jameer Braxton back for the Colonials. 2:56 left before halftime. Cameron Pratt checking out here for AG. Maybe not. It'll actually be Daniel Llewellyn, who was just in for a quick spell. We'll check back out of the game. It's bounced in there to Braxton. A lot of contact, and he stripped Wallace out of the pack with it ahead to Grooms. Grooms floats it up. Couldn't get it to drop it. Wallace's tip and spins out. Wow. That was going to fall in. Steve actually fell out.
It's going pretty soft.
Here's Braxton coming back. Leaner scores. Jameer Braxton. Timeout. Uniontown will take one as well. Colonials back to within 9, 28-19. 2:35 left before halftime. We're back at 60 here on the C.R. Braddock Group High School Sports Night.
When you are looking to make some extra cash for your aluminum cans, visit Cherokee Recycling, where aluminum can is king. Cherokee Recycling is open Monday through Friday, 9 till 5, and Saturdays, 8 till 12 noon, closed Sundays and holidays. Give Marcus or Rags a call today at 724-439-3228 for Cherokee Recycling, where recycling makes the most sense.
Going on now at Seaharbridge Chevy East. Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Silverado for only $319 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit SeaharborChevyEast.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles per year. With $4,500 cash trade equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Payment is plus tax title fees and for payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends February 28, 2022. While supplies last. Residency restrictions apply. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-668-2231.
As we come back, Adrian McLee quickly fouled. He'll head to the line for Uniontown to shoot two. Steven, that's a big foul. Second on Jameer Braxton for Albert Gallatin.
Yeah, fouls are piling up and all on the players that both coaches don't want to get fouls on.
First of two free throws, good for Kadrian McLee. His first point off the Uniontown bench here this afternoon. McLee came in 18 of 34 for the season, 53% from the foul line. Second of two, good again for McLee. Just like that, the Uniontown lead back up to 11 at 30-19. 2:27 left before halftime. White back across here for Albert Gallatin. White in the lane. They're going to wave it off and call a travel.
Cleveland made both free throws, didn't he?
Correct. And Grooms will work it back in here for Uniontown. Send it off to Winfrey. A little full court press now out of Albert Gallatin. Winfrey.
Wow.
And that's going to be the third on Braxton.
Yeah, that's
right at midcourt.
Not a good decision by Braxton there. Tried to cut off the sideline, and they're going to have to take him out. I would think now you're going to bring in Caleb Matzips Chapman, probably come in for he's for Braxton.
They kind of got used to playing a couple of games without Braxton. Again, he missed both the Laurel Highlands and North Allegheny games.
That's a killer for AG.
Oh, I agree. Their leading scorer. Grooms, long three. In and out. Got his own rebound. Stays with it. Off to his left to McLee. Pulls back Winfrey. Winfrey underneath. Floats it up off the back iron. No good. Rebound deflecting off to Matsis Chapman for Albert Gallatin. Matsis Chapman trying to come forward. Contact charge called there on Matsis Chapman. Ran over Bakari Wallace.
Another foul. A lot of fouls. Seventh foul on the Colonials.
That's Matsis Chapman's first personal. Lead at 11 at 30-19. Red Raiders with a basketball back. An uphold will trigger it in. Into the backcourt to Calvin Winfrey. Winfrey across, back to Bakari Wallace. Wallace high feed. McLee is trying to keep it alive to right back to Blake White. White driving back on a 2-on-2 leads and scores. Blake White, 4 here in the second, 6 for the game. AG makes it a 9-point game again at 30-21. Uphold coming forward in traffic there. McLee shovels it out. Winfrey, 3, good. Calvin Winfrey now with 7. Lead up to 12 at 33-21. 1:25 left before halftime.
That was big for Winfrey of the Red Raiders. It looked like the AG was starting to get a little momentum.
Peg, a little fumble, regains, baseline, White. White was in a tough position. Got the shot partially blocked. Red Raiders looking for an outlet pass forward. Matsis Chapman finds it. They're going to rule him out of bounds. They are. He thought he was pushed.
Technical foul, maybe?
He argued the call.
He slammed the ball down. That's easily Tony Carter's.
And Shay's saying the only reason he was out of bounds, Steve, is because he was pushed.
Well, it was kind of an odd play. He just kind of was going down.
And up top, Winfrey for 3, no good. Wallace, offensive rebound, leans back in, another miss. Grayson Jarrett with it underneath, and he gets fouled. So Albert Gallatin will shoot 2 on the other side with 57.8 left before halftime. They trail at 33-21. We'll take a quick 30 here on the C.R. Braddock Group High School Sports Night.
Mom Maruka's Pizza Shop, located at 64 Barton Mill Road in Uniontown, is your prime place to enjoy local high school sports. Mom Maruka's is family-owned and operated, where pride of ownership certainly shows. The Sampson family carries on the tradition of homemade pizza, salads, subs, and wings. Mom Maruka's is open Monday through Saturday, 4 to 10 for indoor-outdoor dining and takeout. Call 724-438-9066 or visit MomMarukaPizza.com for their menu.
Back here at Uniontown High School, Steve, that was another big foul for Uniontown, second on Bakari Wallace. Jarrett made the first free throw, now makes the second as well. So Grayson Jarrett with 4. Colonials back to within 10, and they pressure the basketball again and force a turnover. Cameron Pratt underneath, hands off Pegg. Pegg leans back in, couldn't get it to go. Jarrett got the rebound and got fouled by McLeod. That'll be the third on Kadrian McLeod. And Albert Gallatin will shoot another pair of free throws. No, they called it on Uphold. Wow. Just his second.
Well, that should be his. I had him for 2 already.
No, that was just his second on my card. I have Perkins, Wallace, Grooms, McLee, and Uphold all with 2.
Okay. Did you make the first one? No.
Score still 33-24. And Jarrett for the second. That one is good. And again, Albert Gallatin a little press here in the backcourt. They trail by 8. Winfrey fouled again, and that one on Cameron Pratt. And these players starting to get a little hot out there, Steve. They need to keep their cool. 40 seconds left before halftime. Lead at 8, and Winfrey heading to the line here for Uniontown. Calvin with 7 points already in this game. This will be a 1-and-1 situation. That was the 8th team foul on Albert Gallatin and the second on Cameron Pratt. Winfrey 57% for the season. Misses on a front end of a 1-and-1 here, but gets his own rebound. Comes back, baseline near side, resets back to Bakari Wallace. Wallace coming inside, sent off to his right, no one home. Miscommunication there with Uphold. Ball ended up in the Albert Gallatin bench. And a good opportunity, Steve, for Albert Gallatin to make a little run here right before halftime. To have it back to within 8 with the basketball. Working left to right as we describe it. Blake White brings it back across. Watched there by Uphold. Sent off to his left to Grayson Jarrett. Floats it back here on the near side to Cameron Pratt. Now Pratt staying with it over to Matsis Chapman. Got too deep. Was he out of bounds? No, he's just called for the travel.
Travel, yep.
And the Red Raiders get it back with 15 seconds left before halftime. Had 20 total fouls called in the first half. 12 against Uniontown, 8 against Albert Gallatin. Here's Winfrey back through center. Winfrey to his left. Wallace gets it to go. Bakari Wallace with 6. Lead back up to 10. Colonials need to hurry. Here's Matsis Chapman from midcourt. Off the mark. So at halftime, 35-25. Uniontown over Albert Gallatin. And we're back to recap the first half numbers for you in a moment here on WMBS, the Trib Live High School Sports Network and Facebook Live.
The WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Orthopedic and Spine Institute is open, and their experienced providers are ready to care for you. Orthopedic and spine care spans a wide range of problems, from arthritis to joint trauma caused by injury or overuse. Hips, shoulders, knees, and backs are the most common areas where patients experience pain or impaired function. At WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, they can treat orthopedic and spine problems with state-of-the-art care. Their board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists are well experienced in the latest treatments for damaged and diseased joints. They offer everything from physical therapies to joint repairs and joint replacements. Whenever possible, the newest, minimally invasive techniques are used to ensure quicker recovery, less pain, and less damage to surrounding tissues. To learn more about the newly opened Orthopedic and Spine Institute at WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, or to schedule an appointment, call 724-912-7533 or visit wvumedicine.org/Uniontown. WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital. The new us. Here for you.
For attorney Melinda Delarose, helping people with compassionate counseling, candid legal advice, strong advocacy, and professional commitment is what she does best. With an office at 99 East Main Street in downtown Uniontown, attorney Delarose specializes in family law, municipal law, and general civil litigation, as well as personal injury, estate planning, probate, and more. For more information, call attorney Melinda Delarose at 724-437-3200, 724-437-3200, or online at delaroselaw.com.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sproul's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to SproulsInsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all
Are
states.
you looking for a rewarding career? M&R Transit is now hiring van drivers. Van drivers must be 26 years of age, have a valid driver license, and a clean driving record. Van drivers must be able to obtain all clearances. For more information, call 724-439-3164. That's 724-439-3164, or apply in person at M&R Transit, 253 South Mount Vernon Avenue. M&R Transit wishes the Laurel Highlands Mustangs good luck.
Going on now at C. Harper Chevy. Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Silverado for only $319 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles per year with 4,500 tax rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends February 28, 2022. While supplies last. Residency restrictions apply. Call dealer for all other details at 724-929-8000.
Lease Plumbing and Excavating, helping area residents with residential and commercial plumbing, gas, electric, and water lines, along with paving, concrete, and excavation site work for over 30 years. Building a new home, Lee's does utility installation of water, gas, and sewage lines. Lee's does maintenance work on all existing homes, too. Call 724-245-2950. That's 724-245-2950 for your quote. Lee's wishes all the area basketball teams good luck this season from Lee's Plumbing and Excavating.
Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at JimmyJohns.com.
Freaky fast, freaky good. Order online at JimmyJohns.com or call 724-437-6800 for delivery or curbside pickup. Jimmy John's, next to Walnut Hill, shop and save.
This is Dr. Fraser Stokes of SWGI Specialists, extending best wishes to our Fayette County teams. Our providers and staff all live locally and are committed to fulfilling the digestive health needs of our community. We encourage everyone at age 50 to get a screening colonoscopy because preventing cancer is the best way to fight cancer. Call 724-437-7677 or visit us at swgispecialists.com.
When it's time to service your vehicle, don't procrastinate. Call Rose Motors at 724-583-1944. Rose Motors, specializing in computer diagnostics, engine and electrical problems, brake service, electronic tune-ups, air conditioning repair, exhaust work, state inspection, and more. Looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle? See Rose Motors, where financing is also available. Rose Motors, 42 River Avenue in Masontown, serving the area for 3 generations. Open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, Saturday by appointment.
Back here at halftime, 35-25. Uniontown leading Albert Gallatin. Steve, is your halftime stats. They're brought to you by Peachin's Pharmacy inside the downtown Connellsville Peachin Market.
Okay, thanks, Brian, for the Colonials. Blake White finishes with 6 points. Pratt with 2. Pegg with 6. Jarrett with 6. And Braxton with 5. They scored 9 in the first but had 16 in the second for 25 at the half. Red Raiders, Winfrey with 7. Wallace with 6. Notorious Grooms leads the way with 12. McLee off the bench with 2. Uphold with 5. And Townsend hit the three-pointer. He's got 3. 19 in the first, 16 in the second, 35 at the half. So it's 35-25. 10-point lead. Both teams kind of were even in that second quarter at 16 points apiece, but the difference is that 19-9 first quarter from the Red Raiders that gives them a 10-point halftime lead.
We're back with the second half. Right after this, as Steve said, 35-25 Red Raiders here on WMBS, the Triple High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
Just as your local State Farm agent combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you'll get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. In fact, State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman is your go-to agent in Uniontown for the service you deserve at the price you want. So try to combine home and auto today. State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call 724-592-6308 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Does your car sound like it's saying, "Trade me in, trade me in," every time you start it up? Well, go to Ford of Uniontown and trade it in. That's right, your Uniontown Ford dealer is ready to assist you with a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV purchase. Ford of Uniontown has all the deals, all the inventory, and they are ready to deal. It has never been a better time to buy a Ford. Service is their top priority. No matter where you purchase your Ford car or truck, Ford of Uniontown will be happy to service it for you. They offer Ford-trained technicians, Ford-certified parts and service, 1-year, 12,000-mile parts warranties, and new state-of-the-art service equipment. Call or stop in today to see the hometown service of Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 West across from Applebee's. So listen to your car the next time you hear it say, "Trade me in, trade me in." Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 at the top of the hill.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500. Looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring, professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry.
Looking for a fast, friendly notary service? Sandy Howell Notary Services, LLC, 158 Dry Knob Road, Smithfield, PA, is here to help with transfers, plate renewals, new PA plates, and more. They serve Uniontown, Smithfield, Fairchance, and surrounding areas. Open weekday evenings starting at 5:30 p.m., Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sandy Howell Notary Services, 158 Dry Knob Road, Smithfield, 724-564-8955. Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you by name.
Sam Davis was a gift from heaven. He knows the law and the court system unlike anyone else I've ever met or seen. Sam helped me get through the federal court system with the best possible outcome.
Davis & Davis, personal injury and workers' comp.
We at Davis & Davis are humbled by what our clients have to say about us. If you've been injured, call me, Jim Davis, for a free consultation. We have been helping injured people for over 40 years. Call 724-437-2799.
Good times and good food. It's all at Potter's Bar and Grill on Morgantown Street in Uniontown, family-owned and operated. Potter's has been a staple in the Uniontown community since 1950. So get out of the house and make your next night out at Potter's Bar and Grill on Morgantown Street in Uniontown. Call them up at 724-438-9835. That's 724-438-9835. Or visit Potter's on Facebook. We'll see you at Potter's.
Back here at Uniontown High School, the Albert Gallatin Colonials with the basketball trailing Uniontown by 10, 35-25 as we start the third quarter. Colonials working right to left as we describe it. Caleb Matz Chapman in the backcourt, watched there by Tanner Uphold, brings it back across. Is it off to Grayson Jarrett. Jarrett bounce pass on the inside looking for Pegg, deflected out of bounds by Uphold. Will stay with Albert Gallatin here in the Uniontown zone.
Brian, I had a little chat with our man Tony Carter when the refs were coming out, and I said to him, you were a little friendly on the looked like we thought we were going to get a technical foul when the kid from AG slammed the ball. He said, I was friendly on that one. He goes, I thought about it, he said, but I was just trying to be a nice guy.
Braxton missed on the drive. Pegg had the rebound. He got fouled going back up. That's the third on Christian Perkins. They ruled it, though, on the floor, so Grayson Jarrett will trigger it in here for Albert Gallatin. Jarrett bounces it in, looking for Braxton, able to track it down in the corner, fronted there by Bakari Wallace.
One thing about this game so far, both teams have been very physical, a lot of fouls being called.
You're right on that. Here's Pegg from the elbow out to Matsis Chapman. 3 on the way, too strong. Ball goes over the glass, out of bounds, and back over to Uniontown. So 33 seconds into this third quarter, still as we were at halftime. 35-25. Notorious Grooms will trigger it in. Little man pressure now out of Albert Gallatin. And Groom sends it in to Calvin Winfrey in front of the Albert Gallatin bench. Goes cross court, near side, and across to Bakari Wallace. Far corner now to Uphold, who drives the far baseline and gets it to go. That was a tough shot, Steve. But Uphold able to connect to give him 7, extend the lead back up to 12 at 37-25.
Yeah, he started that shot from almost out of bounds on the baseline and still banked it in. So he got the angle, floated back in, and kind of flicked it back up off the board.
Braxton missed on a leaner. Wallace had deflected by Pegg off to Jarrett, who lays it up and in. So Grayson Jarrett having a nice game with 8 for Albert Gallatin. Colonials back to within 10 at 37-27. Again, they press Wallace in the backcourt, goes between defenders. Bakari kicks it out to Grooms. Back near side, Calvin floats one up a little short. Winfrey able to get his own rebound and reset here to Grooms again. Grooms dancing out to Calvin. 3 from the far wing. Rattling out for Calvin Winfrey. And Nick Pegg the rebound there for Albert Gallatin.
Well, a tough luck shot, 2 of them for Calvin. He's pretty good with that floater, and that one wouldn't go, but then the three-pointer, he's been hot. That thing rattles in and out. So
Braxton missed on a quick 3. Uphold comes back in transition. Missed on the drive, got his own rebound. Missed on the putback. Ball out of bounds, rolled off of Albert Gallatin and out. So once again, the Red Raiders keep possession here in the Colonial zone.
Tanner had 2 cracks at it, could not get either one to fall in. These good shots, just the shots are not dropping for the Red Raiders.
They send it into Grooms. He's short on a 3 off a deflection. Winfrey keeps it alive, puts it back up, another miss.
Everything's just spinning out.
And Braxton out of the pack with it there for Albert Gallatin off to Jarrett, and he's called for the walk in front of the Albert Gallatin bench. Just a made basket on each side here in the third quarter. 1 from Uphold, 1 from Jarrett for Albert Gallatin. 5:59 left here in the third. Still 37-27.
Things to watch for, though. You got Braxton is playing out there now when of course he has to be in there. That they're down by 10 with 3 fouls. That's going to be a push-off on Grooms.
Correct, and that's his third.
Yeah. So a lot of action, a lot of physical play, and I think most of these fouls are warranted. I haven't seen a foul yet that shouldn't have been a foul, but the players are just playing so physical.
And Braxton's third foul, if you're just joining us, also occurred at mid-court trying to stop a Uniontown rush up the court.
Yeah, that was just a poor decision on his part to get in the way there. He should have let Winfrey get around him.
There's Braxton spinning back in traffic. He's called for the travel.
And that's a learning curve that these kids will,
Braxton only a sophomore.
Yep. And then, they look at film. I'm sure Shea Fleener will point that out. Look, we don't need that foul there. I mean, there's certain times you got a foul, but that's tipped away, and that's I thought Perkins tipped that out of bounds, didn't you? It looked like he was over the top of Pratt, but the Red Raiders get the call there.
Now it's off a Winfrey missed jumper on the elbow. Wallace gets it back on the interior pass, and he tries to come inside, had it knocked down. Uphold trying to keep it alive. Resets back out Bakari, and now edge of the zone, Calvin Winfrey.
Uphold's taking over for Wallace, being pretty scrappy down low, getting all those loose balls.
Second half of the season, Uphold has really stepped up his game for Uniontown. Very impressed with the way he's played as of late, Steve.
Just a junior. Still got another year to go.
There's his brother Trent, heck of a player here at Uniontown as well. Here's Winfrey again, high on the right, playing catch there with Bakari Wallace. Right down to 5:03 left in the third. Goes off to Townsend on the far side. Tried a little pass, got deflected out.
But those Uphold brothers had some good one-on-one games out in the driveway.
Think so. Perkins now out, and the Red Raiders bringing Levi Gardner into the game for the first time. Uphold to trigger it in. Bounces it down low. Wallace resets Townsend. A little juggle trying to keep it alive. Comes near baseline. Double team by both Pratt and Matzis. Chapman sends it off to Gardner, who floats it up and in. So Levi, instant impact. 2 quick points for the Red Raiders. They lead by 12 at 39-27. 4:43 left here in the third. Braxton coming back from the far wing and in. That was Gardner on that one too, Steve, defensively, knocking it away. We've said that earlier in the year, even watching Gardner play the JV games. Heck of a player for Uniontown. Townsend turning that one over. Braxton coming back. Was it a walk? No, a foul's going to get called here on Uniontown.
That could have been a foul on Braxton. He pushed Bakari Wallace in the back. I don't think the officials saw it. And they're going to call... Wow, they're going to call that on Wallace? Who are they going to call that on?
No, Gardner.
Okay.
His first. in the axe. You'll have Jameer Braxton with 2 free throws here for Albert Gallatin. First of 2, no good for Jameer.
Braxton got away with a push, though. He was kind of tied up with Garner in front of him, and then Bakari Wallace was on his left hip, if you will, and he just shoved him. He shoved Wallace out of his way, and the official didn't see it, called the foul on Gardner. Both free throws missed.
Braxton just 1 of 5, and a Colonial down behind the play. Going to whistle it down for an injury timeout. 4:19 left here in the third, 39-27. Red Raiders will step aside for a quick 30 here on the CR Product Group High School Sports Night.
With branches in Markleysburg, Connellsville, Hopwood, Uniontown, and Perryopolis, Somerset Trust Company is truly Fayette County's community bank. We invite you to stop by and experience the Somerset Trust Company difference. Local decision-making, convenient locations, extended hours, award-winning online and mobile banking, and more. Somerset Trust Company, community banking worth talking about. Branches and ATMs throughout Fayette County.
Cameron Pratt, a quick 2 for Albert Gallatin as we come back. Uniontown turns it over. Braxton comes back. Is that a charge call there on Albert Gallatin's Braxton?
Tough call there on Braxton.
That'll be his 4th.
Yeah, that Shea Fleener did not like that call at all, I don't think. What do they call double foul? Yeah, there they go.
It's a 4th on Braxton. Occurring here at the 3:59 mark of the third.
That's a tough call for Braxton.
They got back, Steve, to within 10 and then forced the quick turnover.
Yeah, and he was moving. He tried the old Euro step in the lane, and I thought Wallace was kind of sliding over, and Braxton just goes so hard that I guess they just, they call the offensive foul, but I think that most of the time you're going to see the block call on that one.
Here's Winfrey dancing everywhere, floating it up and in. Calvin Winfrey. He has 9. The Red Raider lead back up to 12 at 41-29. Here's Matsis Chapman back across. Gets around, Uphold. Matsis Chapman driving inside. Drew the contact. I think they're going to call this, Steve, on the floor. Matsis Chapman lining up for the free throw. I thought at first Tony Carter signaled on the floor, but now they're going to rule in the act.
That's the 3rd on Uphold.
Wesley Rayfield tuning in from Cleveland, Ohio. Hello, Wesley. Saying good luck, Red Raiders.
Cleveland, wow.
First of 2 free throws, good there for Matsis Chapman. His first point of the game came in averaging 8.5 points a game.
Any other people in Florida today? Do we have anybody in Florida today?
Well, earlier we had
Melbourne, right? Was that yesterday?
Linda Fulham from Melbourne, Florida. Matsis Chapman's second free throw, no good, and Levi Gardner the rebound there for Uniontown. It's an 11-point lead for the Red Raiders as Grooms sends in the corner to Gardner, giving Uniontown good minutes. Back to Grooms, touchback Tavian Richardson, and now Grooms again. Grooms out there with 3 personals. Down to Gardner, and Gardner on the far block. Leans and scores Levi Gardner. 6'3 junior earning minutes out there for the Red Raiders, who lead by 13 at 43-30. There's White, long 2, far wing, no good. Offensive rebound, Grayson Jarrett in traffic, got fouled by Garner. So Jarrett, another pair of free throws upcoming here for Albert Gallatin. Colonial some ground to make up, down 13. And we're back to wrap up our high school basketball regular season coming up on Monday. Uniontown and Laurel Highlands on the air just before 7 o'clock with our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show. Opening tip-off set for 7:30. Jarrett, first of 2 free throws, good here for Albert Gallatin. So Jarrett 5 of 5 from the free throw line.
And the Gardner gets a foul, and he's got 2 fouls and 2 buckets. So he's got 4 points and 2 fouls, doing some pretty good work for Coach Gay.
And Jarrett stays perfect at the foul line. Came in 54%, but he's 6 of 6. Colonial's back to within 11, down 43-32. Red Raiders back through center. Grooms driving between defenders, got fouled.
That's going to probably... Oh, they're going to call that on number 5. I thought they were going to get Jarrett with his 3rd, but they called that on Jackson.
Yeah, J.J. Jackson, the freshman, just checked in. Picks up the foul. Shea Fleener told us earlier in the year he's pretty high on Jackson. Going to be a good player in the future. Already good size for a freshman as Grooms knocks down the first of 2 free throws. Torrey with 13 this afternoon. Now Grooms for a second of 2. Up on the way and good for Notorious Grooms.
We've been spoiled around here with the LH kids and now with these two kids from Uniontown, freshmen starting and playing so well. It's very rare that you see that.
You have both Braxton and Jackson underclassmen. Braxton, a sophomore. Jackson, a freshman on the Albert Gallatin team. Pratt seeing good minutes as a sophomore. McLeese seeing good minutes as a sophomore for Uniontown as well. So as you said, a lot of these underclassmen making impacts around the county. Here's Matsis Chapman up top. A little poke from Bakari Walls, edge of the zone, just saved there Cameron Pratt. Albert Gallatin the basketball down 13. Jarrett kick in the corner. J.J. Jackson, the freshman, drains the three. He comes off the bench with a big shot there. Timeout, Albert Gallatin. 2:28 left here in the third. 10-point game, 45-35. We're back at 60 here on the CR Product Group High School Sports Night.
When your car is damaged, the name to remember is Ted Silva & Son Body and Fender Repair. Currently in their 59th year of providing quality, reliable service to the community, Ted Silva & Son offers complete collision service, minor to major repairs, frame and unibody repair, and glass installation. They will gladly blueprint your vehicle for repair, and they will work with your insurance company. With a paint booth that utilizes the environmentally friendly waterborne paint process, Ted Silva & Son not only cares for our community and our children, they care for our environment. Located on Atlas Road in Hopwood, it is the goal of Ted Silva & Son to alleviate the stress of an accident and assist you in any way possible. Family owned and operated for 59 years. Call 724-437-2351 for Ted Silva & Son Body and Fender Repair, LLC. Proud to sponsor local high school sports.
Bakari Wallace turns it over as we come back. Nick Pegg finds the basketball there for Albert Gallatin. Ahead to Matsis. Chapman comes near baseline, and he gets fouled by Tavian Richardson.
Yeah, it'll be second on Richardson. Just kind of gave a little swipe there. Not a bad foul, though, by Richardson. Stopped a potential drive to the hoop and probably could have created another foul on Garner because Garner was there waiting.
Matsis Chapman will trigger it in. Steve said that last foul on the floor. So Matsis Chapman will floater up top. Grayson Jarrett works off to his right. Back to Matsis Chapman. Far wing, fronted there by Wallace. Touch from Jackson. Just hit the three before the timeout. Bounces it off to his left again to Pegg. Posting up far elbow. Now comes inside trying to drive on Garner. Lost the handle. Deflected out by Levi. Will stay with Albert Gallatin here in the Uniontown zone. Bill Furlong checking in for the Mon Valley, Charleroi area saying hello. Enjoys our coverage of high school basketball. Hello, Bill. Jackson to trigger it in here for Albert Gallatin. Into Matsis. Chapman open look for three with a Red Raider down. It's no good. That's Wallace again, Steve. Hurt. Yeah, Red Raiders, though, breaking back. Grooms floater, no good. Peg the rebound there for Albert Gallatin. So saw Bakari go down with the back earlier, and that appeared to be a leg injury.
He's still limping. Yeah, he's still limping a little bit.
Matsis Chapman, interior feed. A lot of contact down low. Jarrett got knocked down. No foul called. We play on. Red Raiders with it. Grooms in the corner. Double team back to Richardson. 10-point lead for Uniontown, 45-35. 1:25 left here in the third.
Yeah, Levi Garner almost took his arm off on that shot. No foul call. And Shea Fleener really didn't say much. So
Winfrey tried to pull it back to Garner. Got deflected. Calvin keeps it alive. Back to Torrey Grooms. Near side Richardson. Little ball fake back in Torrey's direction. Red Raiders bringing him out. Back to Richardson. Comes near baseline. Drives. Contact. Couldn't get the shot to drop. Foul likely going here on Matsis Chapman. With 1:04 left here in the third. That's a second on Matsis Chapman. Third team foul on Albert Gallatin. First of two free throws for Tavian. Short out the front of the rim. Richardson came in just 5 of 16 from the free throw line, 31%. Uniontown as a team again, 56%, 191 of 341.
Both teams with 10 points each in this quarter, so pretty low scoring of quarter.
Richardson's second free throw short again, follows it up though. Good hustle, gets his own rebound. Pulls it back to Winfrey, now Grooms again. Now Tavian thought about the three, off to his left, drives, hands off Wallace underneath, repositions, but called for the travel.
Well, he couldn't put it straight up. Normally he's pretty good at that, but he had so many people, a couple of Colonials there flying in to try to block. He probably would have got some contact, but he got a foul, but he might have probably got blocked, so he kind of tried to go back out towards the middle, and he took that extra step, and Tony Carter right on top of it.
J.J. Jackson pulling it back over to Pegg. And again, the game's kind of been right around the same margin, Steve, since the end of the first quarter at 19-9. Uniontown made that run after an injury from Pegg. Big block there, Garner on Matsis Chapman. Red Raiders back on it, across to Grooms. 25 seconds left in the quarter. Grooms, 3 rattles out. Battle for the rebound, tipped around, and Richardson able to track it down, then pull it back edge of the zone. Winfrey over to Grooms, swung to Wallace. 3 on the way, goes right to Levi Garner. Out in front, he gets the basket and 1.
Wow.
Levi Garner having a heck of a third quarter with 6. Can make it 7 here at the foul line.
It's going to cost himself some playing time, Brian. He's not going to get to play in too many more JV games. He keeps playing like this.
So Garner coming alive. That foul went on J.J. Jackson, his second. Red Raiders now up 12 at 47-35. And Steve, we spotted him during the JV game when Uniontown played Connellsville very early on in the season. He missed the free throw there. Red Raiders trying to keep it alive, deflects out of bounds over to Albert Gallatin. And we said, boy, this kid looks good. Just been tough for him to see the floor in varsity games. Came in averaging under a point a game, but 6 here in the third quarter against Albert Gallatin has the lead to 12. Colonials now need to hurry down to 3 seconds left in the quarter. Driving in his Peg, repositions, and he gets the basket and 1 with 2.1 left on the clock.
And that's going to go on Garner. So every time he gets a bucket, he gets a foul, but that's pretty good minutes he's given the Red Raiders.
Platooning down low here in the third. And now Pegg to cut the Uniontown lead to 9. Free throw no good there from Nick Pegg. Uphold finds it as time expires after 3. 47-37. Uniontown over Albert Gallatin. We're back with a 4th and 60 here on the CR Product Group High School Sports Night.
You know the importance of planning for retirement, and you plan to enjoy a long and healthy life after you retire. But it's also important to plan for the possibility of needing care on a long-term basis. As life expectancies grow in the U.S., the potential need for long-term care grows as well. A Northwestern long-term care insurance company policy can help pay for the care you may need.
To learn more, call John R. Ritchie today, 724-550-4414. That's 724-550-4414 for John R. Ritchie.
Going on now at Sea Harbor Chevy East. Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Silverado for only $319 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit SeaHarborChevyEast.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles per year with 4,500 cash trade equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Payment is for tax title fees and for payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends February 28, 2022. While supplies last. Residency restrictions apply. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-668-2231.
Uniontown 47, Albert Gallatin 37. Brian Morozak along with Steve Subert, Billy Dice behind the camera on our Facebook Live video feed. Nick Barczyk back inside our WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital studios. Our live video stream courtesy of Jimmy John's, Walnut Hill Plaza, Uniontown, and Fayette County Recorder of Deeds, John Marietta.
Here comes your Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Got here a little late, but they're here watching the game.
Yep. Of course, the Red Raiders will meet the Mustangs. Probably had practice this morning, Steve.
Yeah.
Game Monday, 7:30. We'll have it for you here on WMBS, our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show starting just before 7 o'clock. Actually saw Rodney Gallagher and assistant coach John Smith watching on the live stream earlier today as well. Into the zone, Grooms back over to Calvin in the corner. Uphold coming near baseline, repositions, can't get the shot to go. Ball deflected out of bounds off of Albert Gallatin and out. So Uniontown will keep possession here in the AG zone.
Going back to that foul on Garner, that was, he's got 3 fouls and 6 points. That's a good minutes for a kid off the bench. And the only thing I think, Coach K and Coach Glavin are going to tell him on that last foul, hey, if you're going to foul that kid, don't let him score. Just knock him down, do whatever you got to do. If you're we'll take the foul there, make him earn it at the foul line. But he made the bucket. But pretty good job by Garner.
He'll double team here on Grooms. Gets out of it over to Wallace. Jumper from the elbow. Good, Bakari Wallace.
Good job by Wallace. Get in that middle of that lane. Turn around jumper.
49-37. 7:03 left here in the fourth. Pegg, far wing. Pulls it back. Edge of the zone now.
Pretty big part of the game for AG. They need to do something to cut into this lead. They got to get some stops, and then they have to keep scoring.
Cameron Pratt free off the screen. Jumper near elbow. Came up short underneath. Uphold the rebound there for Uniontown running back. Uphold going coast to coast. Couldn't finish. That ball sat on the back iron, then fell out. Scrum for the rebound. Jump ball called underneath. Will go to the arrow. It favors Albert Gallatin. 6:35 left in regulation. The Uniontown lead still at 12.
You look at from the Uniontown perspective, they got, here comes practice. Well, time to bring them back in. You can't, no sense in going home with those 4 fouls sitting on the bench, right? You got to play. 6 minutes left, and you got to cut into this lead.
So big juncture of this game for Albert Gallatin. Jameer Braxton back out there with 4 personals, has it right now. Coming free off the screen, set up by White. Now spinning, will take a long 2 from the far wing and drain it. Jameer Braxton.
Good shot there, nice turn around, kind of step back, jumper.
Braxton with 7, lead down to 10. A little pressure there on Wallace. Deflects off to Winfrey, who finds it and drives and scores. Calvin Winfrey in double figures with 11. Kind of the right place, right time. After the ball came free, found it. Red Raiders lead by 12 at 51-39. 5:55 left here in the fourth. Braxton up top, long 2, top of the key, good again.
Starting to heat up. Timeout.
Timeout, Albert Gallatin, full timeout, 5:48 left here in the fourth, 51-41 Red Raiders. We're back at 60 here on the C.R. Brada Group High School Sports Night.
The Catholic War Veterans, Post 1669 at Hopwood, are proud supporters of local high school sports. For more information on the programs that the Catholic War Veterans provide, log on to the Catholic War Veterans website at www.cwv.org. You can also visit the Catholic War Veterans Post 1669 on Facebook or phone 724-437-3088. That's 724-437-3088 for the Catholic War Veterans Post 1669 in Hopwood.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sproul's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to SproulsInsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Uniontown with the basketball after the timeout, leading by 10 at 51-41. Red Raiders with 4 timeouts remaining. Albert Gallatin with 2. Uniontown's committed 7 team fouls here in the second half. Albert Gallatin just 4. Here's Grooms off the inbounds pass, running the floor. Grooms leaning, missing. Perkins on the backside gets the offensive rebound to keep it alive. Back to Winfrey. In the corner there, Grooms down low. Wallace, a little touch and score for the near block. Bakari Wallace.
Yeah, good job by the Red Raiders. I like that. They didn't take the air out of the ball way too early to start milking the clock.
Braxton 3 from the parking lot, no good. Rebound deflects around. Pratt finds it, keeps it alive. Peg up top. Perkins in his face, and Perkins will pick up the foul.
That's going to be his 4th.
Uniontown Bigs earning some fouls here today. McLee with 3, Garner with 3, Perkins with 4.
You look at that score, 53-41. I think from the Red Raiders, I think you got to get to 60 at least, and then you feel pretty good. Anything in the mid-60s, the Red Raiders will feel pretty good about things.
Peg front end of 1-1, good.
The Colonials only have 42 points now, so they're going to have to do a lot of hustling to get in the mid-60s. But you definitely don't want to start taking the air out too early, and then you lose some momentum.
Peg second of 2 free throws out the front of the rim, no good. Perkins the rebound.
Lane violation on...
No foul call.
Wow. Who's the foul on? That's on
Grayson Jarrett.
Wow.
So his second, team 5th. An uphold triggers it into Wallace. A little pressure, quickly broken across. Grooms to his left. Winfrey was cutting, couldn't hang on. Lost it out of bounds. Back over to Albert Gallatin. So the Colonials get it back. They're down 11. 5:13 left here in regulation. And Jameer Braxton, who's hit some big shots here in the fourth quarter, will bring it back across. But again, he's out there with 4 personals. Peg sets the screen, sends it back on the near side. Nice save, Massis Chapman, who's 3 balls an air ball, and goes underneath right to Uphold. Looking for an outlet pass down to Grooms. Grooms drives back, hands off Wallace out in front. Again, couldn't finish. Rebound tips around, and Grooms able to pull it back out. Over to Calvin Winfrey, who coughed it up. Peg back on it there for Albert Gallatin. Spins off a double team. Sent off to his right after a little juggle. Massis Chapman gets it to go. His first field goal of the game. pulls Albert Gallatin back to within 9. It wasn't pretty, Steve, but they got the job done.
Yeah, it was a little helter-skelter there, but somehow it was like a hot potato. They were stabbing it with a fork, and they just couldn't get it, but they finally somehow Massis Chapman was able to corral it and get it in there.
And Pegg, almost a steal here at midcourt, ran into the scores table, and there's no give over there.
No.
Red Raiders were attempting a little four corners here early with 4:21 left in the fourth, up 9. Colonials trying to close the gap.
I think he's still about a minute or two away from that.
Now pulled into the backcourt there to Grooms. Pressure there by Pegg. Grooms back across, lobs it baseline far side. Uphold, resets, Winfrey on the wing, drains the three. Calvin Winfrey. 5 here in the fourth, 14 for the game. Red Raiders back up 12. Braxton back on the other side. They're going to get Wallace for a little touch foul. Be the third on Bakari. Send Braxton back to the line. Be the last 1 and 1. Team foul number 9. They'll shoot 2 the rest of the way.
This Braxton kid's, he's got a little kid running around the court. Somebody better get him off of the court, Brian. He's running.
We saw that earlier, and they see a lot of kids, especially behind the end lines here.
They've kind of stopped that for safety.
As Braxton makes the first of 2 free throws, he's in double figures with 10. You got to watch your kids here if you're down watching high school basketball. Braxton makes both free throws. He is 11. AG back to within 10.
We sound like the old men. Get off my porch.
Yes. Just for the safety of the kids. Don't want to see anyone get run over. Grooms over to Wallace on the elbow. Corner, uphold 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Braxton, another rebound. Big possession here for Albert Gallatin. They're down 10. Looking for an outlet pass forward to Jarrett in traffic. Ball held there with Perkins. But go to the arrow again. This time it favors Uniontown.
And Jarrett having a nice game, but he's not going to win that battle against Perkins with the fight for the ball. But he did a decent job to at least tie up and now switches the arrow. But 3:42 left, 10-point lead. Raiders are maintaining.
Wallace driving, floating it off the glass, no good. Ball loose underneath. Wallace trying to keep it back alive. AG deflects it out, so still Uniontown's basketball here in the Albert Gallatin zone. With 3:33 left in regulation, Red Raiders lead by 10.
And the Colonials just cannot cut into the lead. Every time they score, the Red Raiders come back and answer.
And the game's been between 8 and 12 points since the end of the opening quarter.
Yep.
Haven't had much deviation. Winfrey's just going to hold here, edge of the zone. Pratt comes out defensively. Now Grooms a touch. Wallace back to Winfrey.
Now they're 3 minutes now. I guess with a 10-point lead, you're going with the 4 corners.
And Grooms getting fouled, going between Pegg and Jarrett. And it's team foul number 6, so still on the floor here. Uniontown will shoot a 1 and 1 off the next foul. And again, Steve, you look at this Uniontown team, just 56% for the season from the foul line. Not a bad team to foul. Pratt almost had a steal, but was out of bounds on the far side, especially on some of these 1-and-1s. You get lucky and they miss the front end. You can get some possessions back for yourself after some empty possessions on the Uniontown side. See how it goes. In the backcourt, Grooms will bring it back across. Pegg will foul him, and that'll be a 1-and-1 for Notorious before the season is 61% from the free throw line. So 3:08 left here in the fourth. 10-point lead for Uniontown. Just the first foul on Nick Pegg. Front end of a 1-and-1 here for Notorious Grooms. Now whistled down by Tony Carter.
They're switching the
Blake
lane.
White, yep.
Yeah, well, Wallace was in the lane. He couldn't be in there. They couldn't have extra player on that one side.
Front end of the 1-and-1, no good. Hard contact down low. Jarrett had it and had it ripped away by Notorious Grooms.
That was an odd play there.
Yeah, very odd sequence. And the Red Raiders fortunate to get it back. Here's Grooms again fighting off the double team over to Perkins. Back out to Winfrey. Now Winfrey fouled by Pegg. So it'll be Pegg's second. Another 1-and-1 here for the Red Raiders. 2:50 to play.
Well, that was an odd one. They got the rebound, and then Perkins just came in there and grabbed it away from him. And it looked like everybody kind of stopped waiting for a whistle, and the whistle never came.
I thought they initially thought it might be an injury timeout. think it was Jarrett that was down underneath. Then he quickly hopped back up, and we played on. Front end of a 1-and-1 this time. Good for Calvin Winfrey.
Big free throws there for Winfrey. Extend that lead to 11.
Now Winfrey for a second. This one good again. So Winfrey, a couple of big free throws here in the fourth quarter. He has 16 for the game. The lead back up to 12. So Braxton still out there with 4 personals. Brings it back across for Albert Gallatin. Braxton driving, tough shot. Got fouled, blocking foul here on the Red Raiders. Braxton will have 2 free throws with 2:40 left here in the fourth.
Wallace or Perkins, and it's on Wallace, and that's his 4th. Perkins would have been out, right?
Correct, yep, he has 4.
Or he's 4, yeah.
Now Braxton, who scored 11 in this game, makes the first of 2 free throws here.
Well, the Colonials can't afford to trade baskets anymore. Obviously, the Red Raiders are now going to go in their stall mode, so they're going to have to put them at the line.
Braxton hits them both here. And Albert Gallatin will take a timeout. 58-48, Uniontown, 2:40 left in the fourth. We're back in 60 here on the CR Product Group High School Sports Night.
The WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Orthopedic and Spine Institute is open, and their experienced providers are ready to care for you. Orthopedic and spine care spans a wide range of problems, from arthritis to joint trauma caused by injury or overuse. Hips, shoulders, knees, and backs are the most common areas where patients experience pain or impaired function. At WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, they can treat orthopedic and spine problems with state-of-the-art care. Their board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists are well experienced in the latest treatments for damaged and diseased joints. They offer everything from physical therapies to joint repairs and joint replacements. Whenever possible, the newest, minimally invasive techniques are used to ensure quicker recovery, less pain, and less damage to surrounding tissues. To learn more about the newly opened Orthopedic and Spine Institute at WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, or to schedule an appointment, call 724-912-7533 or visit wvumedicine.org/Uniontown. WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital. The new us, here for you.
Back here at Uniontown High School, 58-48. Uniontown leading Albert Gallatin. And the Red Raiders basketball, they're working left to right. And AG expected to show full court pressure here, trying to force a turnover. Grooms into Winfrey. Winfrey resets back to Torrey Grooms. Into the Albert Gallatin zone, holding here high on the left. 2:30 left in regulation, fronted by Cameron Pratt. Grooms stays with it, now pulls back out. 2:25 to play. Red Raiders, they don't mind killing a little clock here, Steve. And AG eventually is going to have to come out here and foul. Goes over to Winfrey. Letting Uniontown take far too much time off the clock, down at 2:10. We'll switch up top with Grooms. White attempting a reach and out of bounds. And they're going to say it's going to stay with Uniontown with 2:04 left in the fourth.
Thought that ball might have went off of Grooms' foot.
I agree. That was right in front of us.
Yeah.
Red Raiders again back in the back court there to Grooms.
Fouling Grooms. He missed his last free throw.
Over to Winfrey between defenders. 1:57 to play. Back in Grooms' direction. They've taken about 45 seconds off the clock on this possession. Now finally Pegg fouls Winfrey. Another 1-and-1.
Yeah, you would think they would have done that a little earlier, because they just can't. You can't let the Red Raiders just dribble the clock off, and this
will be the last 1-and-1.
And you probably didn't want to let Winfrey shoot from the line, but
front end good for Calvin.
At some point, if you can't get the ball out of his hands, you're going to have to foul him.
Correct. Lead back up to 11 at 59-48. AG starting to run out of time. They have only one timeout remaining. Uniontown with 4. Winfrey now for his second. On the way, and this one no good. Grayson Jarrett, the rebound, didn't go strong, and Bakari Wallace rips it away. We've seen that a couple of times tonight. Head to the zone, Winfrey. Back over to Grooms.
They should have fouled Wallace as soon as he had the ball, but they didn't do it.
Grooms floats it back up and in. That hurts if you're Albert Gallatin. Grooms with 16, lead at 13.
There we go. They got to 60. 61 now.
Might not even have to get that high up, but Jameer Braxton, big 3 up top, and AG is going to take their last timeout. with 1:23 to play, 61-51. We're back in 60 here on the CR Product Group High School Sports Night.
Looking for the highest quality products at the lowest prices? Shop and save on Walnut Hill in Uniontown has the widest selection of brands and the freshest offerings around. They specialize in your family's grocery needs. Save big and sign up for the Shop and Save Perks card to get money-saving benefits and discounts on gas. Shop and Save. Walnut Hill Road, Uniontown, open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. Working hard to offer you the best at Shop and Save because it's the just right thing to do.
See Harper Savvy. Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Silverado for only $319 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit charperchevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease excludes GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles per year with 4,500 tax rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Payment is with tax, title fees, and first payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends February 28, 2022. While supplies last. Residency restrictions apply. Call dealer for all other details at 724-929-8000.
Uniontown leads 61-51. 1:23 left here in the fourth. Steve with a problem for Albert Gallatin. You're out of timeouts now. Off the inbounds pass, almost stolen there by Blake White, will remain Uniontown's basketball. And again, Albert Gallatin just hasn't been able to get it down inside of 8 since that opening quarter. Uphold into Grooms. Down low, Perkins wide open. You'll never get an easier layup than that. First 2 of the game for Christian Perkins. Lead back up to 12. White back across. On the elbow, Pegg. Pulls it up top, Matsis Chapman. Jumper right of the lane. Good, Caleb Matsis Chapman. But again, you're without any timeouts remaining. Winfrey in the backcourt. Almost kicked there by Pegg. Floated back in Winfrey's direction. 55 seconds left. 10-point lead at 63-53. Winfrey's been hot at the line. Goes back to Grooms. Now Winfrey again. Winfrey dancing everywhere out there for Uniontown. Was it over and back? It is. Winfrey got too close to the boundary.
Cody Carter's going to give him a timeout, and Shea Fleener's going to go nuts on that.
Wow, timeout granted there for Uniontown. Up 63-53. We're back in 60 here on the CR Product Group High School Sports Night.
For attorney Melinda Delarose, helping people with compassionate counseling, candid legal advice, strong advocacy, and professional commitment is what she does best. With an office at 99 East Main Street in downtown Uniontown, attorney Delarose specializes in family law, municipal law, and general civil litigation, as well as personal injury, estate planning, probate, and more. For more information, call attorney Melinda Delarose at 724-437-3200, 724-437-3200, or online at DelaRoseLaw.com.
Just as your local State Farm agent combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you'll get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. In fact, State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman is your go-to agent in Uniontown for the service you deserve at the price you want. So try to combine home and auto today. State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call 724-592-6308 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
63-53 Uniontown. Great timeout for Uniontown head coach Rob Kesmarski, sensing that the Red Raiders were in trouble there. Now Winfrey again with it tied up, but that one was touched. AG almost had a steal there from Braxton right in front of us. And Braxton lost it out of bounds. Now Uphold in here to Grooms. That one off of Grooms, and now no doubt about that one. Now AG will get it back, but they have to make up, Steve, a 10-point deficit with 37 seconds left on the clock. Braxton in the backcourt to Pratt. AG needs to hurry here. Braxton needing some help. Now he'll take it across himself. Almost lost it here, edge of the zone. It's go time, 28 seconds left. Braxton staying with it, almost had deflected. Peg the save, leans inside. What's the call? Foul here on Uniontown.
It's going to be on Perkins.
So Perkins will foul.
No, that's on Wallace, sorry.
Well, he's going to foul out. So Wallace fouls out. They'll have a couple of seconds here to make a substitution. It'll be Evan Townsend that'll check in. So Bakari fouls out with 10. With 22.7 left here in the fourth.
AG just wasted too much time letting Uniontown dribble around. I know they were trying to get steals, but they could have played the old offense-defense, put some kids in just to foul to put Uniontown at the line. It probably would have been their probably only hope to get back in this game, but still a pretty good effort by the Colonials.
Peg misses on the first of two. Now Pegg for a second. This one is good for Nick Pegg. And now the Red Raiders try to break back down the court. Outlet pass too far there for Perkins. Not the turnover you want to make, Steve, with a 9-point lead and 18 seconds left.
Right.
But AG, again, a lot of work to do here, down 9. Braxton brings it across. Braxton coming inside, a little hop step, almost stripped, able to regain. Braxton looking for operating room under 10 seconds left. Braxton comes back inside and gets fouled. That might be it for Perkins now. Both him and Grooms were there. Wait and see what goes on. Only 7.3 left. That goes on Perkins, so he's fouled out. With 2 points and 7.3 left here in the fourth. Levi Gardner back in, getting some late minutes here for the Red Raiders. Oldies Unlimited with Arnie Amber coming up next. As Arnie would say, Steve, they walk the plank as Braxton makes the first of 2 free throws. Braxton having a nice fourth quarter.
Yes, he is.
As AG back to within 8 at 63-55. Braxton's second free throw, good again. 63-56. Townsend fouled by White in front of the AG bench with 5.4 left, and they got the lead down to 7. Braxton for 18 in this game, Steve?
I got to add them up here. Let's see. 4, 5, 6. 10, 13, and 5 is 18.
Now Evan Townsend heading to the line on the other side here for Uniontown.
Is that what you have?
Correct. First of 2 free throws, good for Evan. Just wanted to double check. Sometimes doing play-by-play, you can miss 1 or 2.
Yeah, plus all those free throws.
Yeah, it's a big column here in the fourth. Townsend second, no good. Rebound, Matsis Chapman. Sends it down far side off a deflection at the buzzer. White's not going to count. That'll be your final score. 64-56. Hard-fought game on both sides. Uniontown an 8-point win. We're back to tell you all about it on our post-game show brought to you by First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Comes your way next year on WMBS, the Trib Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest. Now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
When your car is damaged, the name to remember is Ted Silva & Son Body and Fender Repair. Currently in their 59th year of providing quality, reliable service to the community, Ted Silva & Son offers complete collision service, minor to major repairs, frame and unibody repair, and glass installation. They will gladly blueprint your vehicle for repair, and they will work with your insurance company. With a paint booth that utilizes the environmentally friendly waterborne paint process, Ted Silva & Son not only cares for our community and our children, they care for our environment. Located on Atlas Road in Hopwood, it is the goal of Ted Silva & Son to alleviate the stress of an accident and assist you in any way possible. Family owned and operated for 59 years. Call 724-437-2351 for Ted Silva & Son Body and Fender Repair, LLC. Proud to sponsor local high school sports.
Let's face it, sometimes local is better. Locally grown, locally sourced, shop local, eat local. But what about local expertise? At Allstate, Russ Playho is just that, a local. So contact Uniontown Allstate agent Russ Playho today at 724-439-9700. Russ can help you with the protection that's right for you and the things you love most. Allstate. Are you in good hands?
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary. Life insurance offered through Allstate Life Insurance Company and Allstate Assurance Company, Northbrook, Illinois, and American Heritage Life Insurance Company, Jacksonville,
I'm
Florida.
attorney Rob Harper, and I'm happy to be joining Bill Martin and Tripp Radcliffe at Radcliffe Law in Uniontown. I grew up in Uniontown and chose to make Fayette County my home. I also represent the county as an assistant district attorney, and I know my way around a courtroom. If you are hurt in an accident, buying or selling a home, need assistance with an estate or will preparation, call me at Radcliffe Law, 724-439-3939. The initial consultation is free. Radcliffe Law, making the law personal.
Looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring, professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry.
Going on now at C. Harper Chevy. Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Silverado for only $319 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevy.com. Chevrolet. Find new roads. Lease excludes GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles per year with 4,500 tax rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Payment is plus tax, federal fees, and first payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends February 28, 2022. While supplies last. Residency restrictions apply. Call dealer for all other details at 724-929-8000.
Looking for a fast, friendly notary service? Sandy Howell Notary Services, LLC, 158 Dry Knob Road, Smithfield, PA, is here to help with transfers, plate renewals, new PA plates, and more. They serve Uniontown, Smithfield, Fairchance, and surrounding areas. Open weekday evenings starting at 5:30 p.m., Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sandy Howell Notary Services, 158 Dry Knob Road, Smithfield, 724-564-8955. Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you by name.
64-56 your final score. Uniontown over Albert Gallatin. Back on our postgame show brought to you by First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Steve, is your final stats. They're brought to you by Peachin's Pharmacy inside the downtown Connellsville Peachin Market.
Okay, for AG, Blake White finishes with 6 points. Matsis Chapman with 5. Pratt with 4. J.J. Jackson with 3. Nick Pegg has 10. Jarrett with 10. And Braxton led the way with 18. They had 9 in the first, 16 in the second, 12 in the third, 19 in the fourth, 56 for the ball game. For the Red Raiders, Perkins with 2 points. Winfrey, Calvin had 17. Levi Gardner, nice night off the bench with 6. Bakari Wallace with 10. Notorious Grooms finishes with 16. McLeave off the bench with 2. Uphold with 3. And Townsend with 4 points for the Red Raiders. They had 19 in the first, 16 in the second, 12 in the third, 17 in the fourth for a 65-56 victory.
That'll do it for the folks on Facebook Live. Again, we're back on Monday. Uniontown at Laurel Highlands. Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show on the air at 7. Opening tip set for 7:30. Back with one final word on the radio side right after this. Red Raiders win it 64-56 over Albert Gallatin.